This is Chris Gardner of the Houston Roundball Review, speaking with Lindsay Edmonds, Rice Owls head coach, women's basketball. Coach, thank you very much for joining me. How are you?
Having me. I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing well. Looks like you're at work in the office.
I am in Houston. We're the baby and I are in Houston, so we are officially in Texas. So waiting for the rest of the family to join us, probably early July, but we are here and we're excited.
Okay. Well, I think you tweeted a few days ago. You had some talent in, just not going to get into names or anything like that, but just the process of putting your staff together and then having players, and interacting with people face to face.
Yeah. So obviously getting staff together was a number one priority for me, and feel, like I said before, feel very excited about the group that I was able to get. And I think they're all just wonderful people and great coaches. They've all hit the ground running with recruiting and therefore allowing us to get some kids on campus pretty quickly. So that was exciting. And yes, to be able to be face to face and be on campus with recruits was awesome. It felt, like some normalcy again. So that was really nice to have. So yeah, we were excited about having some visitors on campus. Obviously, their freshmen moved in. They didn't get an opportunity to have an official visit, so we treated the weekend a little bit like an official visit for them and their families. So it was nice to be able to meet them in person and spend some quality time with them as well.
Now, you were my first guest when I was host on KYK Radio, and I think you mentioned you were referencing one of the coaches who had Texas ties.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to assume that's Coach Grant.
Yes.
So just if you can, just give some more details about Coach Grant and your other two additions to your staff.
Yeah, so Coach Grant obviously came from San Diego State, but he lived a large portion of his life in Texas. His father is associated with the DFW Elite program, so a great AAU program within the state for girls basketball. His sister, played basketball as well. So just a basketball family with a lot of Texas ties. His sister's now at UT in a position for women's basketball with graphics. So they're just very well connected, and Nick's definitely hit the ground running with getting me on the phone with the right people in the state of Texas. So it's been awesome. He's definitely got me connected pretty quickly. So that was great. Then Coach Keevy is coming from Davidson. So obviously been recruiting high academic caliber kids. So really right away knows how, and the ones that we should be in on, she can look at a transcript right away and know, can we get them in? Can we not get them in? So she's added great value to the staff. She also played at Wake Forest. So high caliber athlete, but also a great student as well. So she's going to understand like the balance that our young lady is going to be going through from academically to athletically. So I think she'll be a great sounding board for them. And then Coach Morton coming from Georgia State. I've known her for a while. I just think she's so great at developing relationships. She's going to be a great mentor and role model for our young ladies. But she's really great at developing relationships with recruits as well. So I think she's just really a really awesome instrumental piece to add to the staff as well.
How have these first few days here in town been for you? Has it been a whirlwind?
It has been. It has been a whirlwind. I thought the whirlwind was crazier at home because I was still trying to balance things at home in North Carolina before I got here and still trying to work remotely. So the whirlwind felt crazy there, but then got here and it felt pretty crazy as well. So like I said, the 9-month-old Elena is with me. So, been dropping her at daycare most of the days. Some of the days she's been here with me at the pack and plays here in the office. But, the staff has been great. And Brooke staying on board as the director of basketball operations has really helped us have a better seamless transition because she knows everything about the university and who we need to call when we have questions. So it's been a whirlwind for sure, but we are day by day, it gets a little bit calmer. And so that's feeling pretty good today.
How would you describe the feedback you've received from people, friends, colleagues, now that you are in charge at Rice?
Yeah, I mean, I think that, from the colleagues, I've got a ton of awesome feedback. People are very excited. People are very telling me how great of a place it is, which obviously I know, but there's a lot of people around the country that know it as well. So that was one of the things for me too, when thinking about taking this job, is that I knew the prestige that the university held went nationwide, where, in North Texas needs to be our home base of where we're recruiting. We can recruit nationally because everybody knows about Rice and Rice University and what the degree stands for and what the degree carries. So I've got a lot of positive feedback from colleagues and different people. So it's been a lot of fun to hear from people.
Have you and the staff discussed which tournaments y'all are going to hit for recruiting?
We have, yeah. We actually have our whole July pretty much mapped out. So we'll be hitting all the major tournaments. We'll be in Texas a lot. There's a lot going on in Texas, so we'll be here quite a bit. There's a tournament in Iowa that we're hitting, a tournament, Run for Roses in Louisville that we're going to go to. Chicago will be a big one that we'll be at. Indianapolis, there's several going on there. And then the second half of July, we'll be at Augusta for Nike Nationals quite a bit. And then Adidas Championships in Birmingham, and then Under Armour in Pennsylvania will be some of the main ones we'll hit in the second half.
Have you given any time to July is going to be your first time as a head coach looking at talent? Will that be any different for you from in the lead chair as opposed to being in the assistant chair?
Yeah, a little bit. You still, still grinding, still working, still going to a bunch of different games and seeing as many kids as you possibly can. Obviously, as a recruiting coordinator from NC State, I was making sure that everybody else around me was doing all the right things and my boss was getting to all the right games. So now I guess I'm going to have Coach Keevy telling me where to go and making sure I'm at the right court and at the right time. So that'll be a little bit different of not having to worry about it, making sure everyone on the staff is at the right games. Coach Keevy will kind of take over that. And I know the staff is all going to be, everyone's excited about being back out in July. So I don't think there'll be any issues with, I think everybody will be grinding and being excited about watching games. But that'll be the major difference, is I'm not worried about trying to get my boss to the right court.
And what will you be looking at? What is your idea of a Rice student athlete that'll fit your style of play?
Yeah, there's a lot of things you look at. The intangibles are really important to me, is watching how they interact with teammates, watching their demeanor on and off the court, watching how they, when they get subbed out, like how are they responding to that? When they're sitting on the bench, how are they responding to that? I even learned from one of my former bosses, watch when the game is over with and see how they go and talk to their parents. Like just the intangibles that you can't always see in a game. Those are some of the really important pieces to know what type of person you're getting. Obviously, during the game, you want high energy players that their motor is always running, athletic and skilled, and able to do multiple things, not just a one-dimensional player. So we're just, we have our eyes on a great group of 22 recruits, and just going to have a lot of fun, sitting and enjoying watching them play and them seeing right all of their games, and then hopefully getting some eyes on some new talent as well.
How many scholarships do you have for to fill with 22?
It's kind of to be determined of how things finish up with the portal recruiting right now, but potentially 4 to 5 could happen in 22. That would take us to a full roster, which again, there's some question as to whether you should always go to a full roster or not, but we could be anywhere in the 4 to 5 range for the 22 group.
And do you have a preference on, you like to keep one scholarship available just in case, during the season?
Yeah, I would like to keep one scholarship available at all times. Again, with the way the transfer portal is, I think you got to have one there in case somebody just falls into your lap that wants to come back into the state of Texas, and that, would be a no-brainer to take. But the 22 class, I feel pretty good about them as well. So it'll be a toss-up this year on whether we go full with the 22s or whether we hold that one. I think moving forward, potentially you always want to hold one, but being where we're at, wanting to get as many kids in that our staff collectively likes, we could go to full with just the 22 class.
And just remind folks your style of play, what you like to do in your teams?
Yeah, I want to play fast, and I want to score in transition before the defense gets set. If we can't score in transition, I would like to go into 4 out, 1 in and let the defense just kind of pick their poison. Are they going to double down on our post player? If so, our post player will kick it out to one of the 4 that are around the perimeter. We'll knock down to open a shot. If no one doubles down, the post player, the one inside, needs to be able to score one-on-one. So that's really kind of what we're going towards. We understand that this year it could be a little bit of a just kind of mismatch and put things together as best as we can. But moving forward, that is exactly what we're looking for, is that 4 out, 1 in. And if I penetrate and nobody helps off, I should be able to get all the way to the rim. If somebody helps off, I'm going to kick and we're going to get an open shot. But then obviously have some quick hitters to run in a dead ball situation if we have a mismatch, or if someone has a really hot hand, we want to be able to get them another shot too. So mostly fast, 4 out, 1 in, and then in dead ball situations, some quick hitters.
How close are you to completing your non-conference schedule?
Pretty close. Need to add probably one more game. So there's a good mix. There's a couple of Power Fives on there. There's a couple pretty good mid-major programs, and then some games against an NAIA school to start the season off. So just working on getting a good mix. We want to have as much confidence going into the conference season as possible. What's
the breakdown in terms of home games, road game, neutral sites in your non-conference?
Yeah, so no neutral sites. Right now, we're at 5-4, with 5 being at home and 4 being on the road. Would like to add one more at home as well, so it would probably be 6-4.
Do you have plans of in the future doing neutral site?
Yeah, I'd love to. I think it's a lot of it's a great experience for the players. A lot of fun to be able to get into some tournaments and go somewhere and hopefully upset some people on neutral sites. So I think it's a great opportunity. So hopefully we can start planning for that and make that happen. If not, the next year, maybe hopefully the following season.
And how does that work for neutral site? Do you seek it, or do they call you and ask you if you're interested? How does that work?
Yeah, there's a website called Basketball Travelers where like games are just posted on, so it's kind of just like an updated scheduling site, and you can click on different tournaments and see what they're looking for. Sometimes people will call you and ask if you can come over. I know I've received a phone call from I hope I don't Rio Grande this year trying to get us into a tournament. It didn't work out with our exam schedules though, so yeah, it's a little bit of both, but again, most of the things are posted on Basketball Travelers for what tournaments are being held and what they're looking for.
And is it an adjustment to schedule around Rice exams? Because that's a little bit different.
It is a little bit different. Stacy and I have had plenty of conversations about it, and she's like, just keep the questions coming because I know it's difficult. So yeah, there's a few more requirements around last week of class, then study days, exam days, and when you can kind of get back going. So there's a few more different layers than there were at NC State. So definitely learning through that.
Is there anything you want to mention that I haven't asked you about so far?
We started workouts on the court yesterday, so that was really encouraging to be back on the court and being able to work out with the players. Staff did a tremendous job. Everybody had great energy, players and staff. So really excited to see, kind of the pieces all together. We're doing some individuals early this week, and at the end of this week, we'll have a group workout all together. So I'm excited to kind of get on the court with everyone collectively and just hit the ground running. So we're excited and ready to work.
How many players do you have back?
Right now we have 9 that are back. The 2 freshmen are finishing up their physicals, hopefully getting clearance by tomorrow, hopefully, fingers crossed. If not, for sure by Friday. We have secured 1 out of the portal, so we are working on the final paperwork to be able to announce her. So she will make 10, and there's 1 more out there that we are also still working on. So hopeful to get to 11 is the goal for right now.
And do you have thoughts on how many student athletes are entering the portal?
Uh, it is insanity. I'm just blown away by the number. I'm still actually blown away by the fact that people are still going in now. The fact that it is June 16th, I think that's today. I'm not sure.
Right, right.
But the fact that there are still people going in is what is so crazy. So it's just it is a new way of recruiting. I hope that moving forward, it is not something that we have to deal with very often. Obviously, wasn't anticipating the ones that went into the portal to go into the portal. So that was hard and fought really, really hard to get them all to stay. And obviously didn't work out the way we all had hoped. So hopefully we are not hit by this. I think it is just a new way of kids being able to just jump and go see something different. And okay, I don't like living here. Let's go across the country and go live here for a year or two and get this paid for. I think there are some out there that have legitimate reasons as to why they're going in, and I totally understand that. But the ones that are, there's just a lot out there that are doing it for the wrong reason. So that's where it makes it really difficult. It's really difficult to manage your roster with the way the transfer portal is. I mean, I'm sitting here saying I have 4 or 5 for the 22, but if for some, I mean, hopefully it doesn't happen, but if some more decide to go, then you're already signed only 5, but then you lose 2 more. So now you got to go figure out how to find 2 more to replace your roster. So it's really hard to just do the management of your roster with not knowing what the transfer portal is gonna do to you every year.
And a question I have for you that I don't know the answer. When does the portal close? Does it?
I don't know that it does. I mean, people last year were going into the portal like as soon as the school year started, and then it was like, so I don't know that it ends. I mean, I think you can probably transfer at any point. I think by July, you would think by the end of summer workouts, people are pretty set that they're either staying or leaving. So I don't think there'll be much movement in August, but then you could see it start happening again in September after the school year starts back up, people going back in. And then by December, you'll really have a lot start again because they're looking for a mid-year transfer. So yeah, I don't know that it officially ever closes. It's just a matter of when it makes sense for people to leave or to not leave anymore.
On a happier note, in terms of non-conference scheduling, does the Conference USA office give their member schools input on scheduling, strength schedule, or is that specifically just a school's prerogative?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we had our spring meetings virtually with Conference USA, and they encouraged us to, make our strength of schedule and make our non-conference as good as we possibly can for the chance at hopefully getting an at-large. They obviously want to be a multi-bid league and not just be the winner of the conference tournament getting in. So they obviously encourage you to make your non-conference schedule as competitive as possible, but there's no requirements from them for that.
How different is that for you? Will that be for you going from NC State and the ACC, the multi-bid, league year in, year out, to Conference USA, maybe a 1 or 2 bid league, year in, year out?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be quite the change. Obviously, with ACC, you could get 6, 7, maybe even 8 in on any given year. So the pressure from the ACC tournament wasn't there like it's going to be here. I mean, I think obviously Coach Langley experienced it a little bit last year. You win regular season and then come up a little bit short in the conference tournament, and then NCAA is taken away from you and you're going to the WNIT instead. So I am familiar with it, though. Obviously, I spent 4 years at James Madison University, and we were competing for championships every year. And, we did fall short. We won regular season and then would fall short in the tournament and then went to the WNIT. So I remember the stress from the conference tournament is definitely there, and it's on you, and the pressure is there for the kids and the coaches because you want to win it all and make the regular season not not stand for anything. You want to be able to go to the NCAA tournament. So I've been there before. So just again, we hope we are putting ourselves in that position to be able to be competing for the tournament championship year in and year out. And we'll just go and do our best every year.
Coach, we're almost done. Question for you. Do you keep up with the WNBA?
I do. I keep up with it some. Right now, I don't have cable or internet at the place that I'm staying, so I feel like I'm very out of the loop. I haven't been able to watch any games since moving here, so I've been out of the loop quite a bit with not having any TV right now.
Well, that leads me, I guess, into one of my last questions for you. Have you settled into a place, a permanent home yet?
Not yet. We are very fortunate that we are staying in an apartment right now, really close by to campus until our house can be finished. We found a quick move-in home that was being built, and it's going to be finished in August sometime. So we are close by campus right now. Feel very fortunate that this was able to happen for us. And then hopefully our permanent house will be done in August, which I'm really excited for.
And will you be one of the coaches that goes to other events on campus supporting other Rice teams?
Yeah, for sure. I'm really excited. We're really excited about being able to, dive into the Rice community and be able to go to all the games. Obviously, I went to the Sweet 16 game for the women's soccer team when they were in Raleigh, which was really awesome. But I'm looking forward to getting to many events on campus and getting to know players from other teams as well as the other coaches.
All right, Coach. Coach Lindsay Edmonds, Rice South Women's Basketball. Thank you very much again. And hopefully we can make this semi-regular.
Awesome. Yeah, would love to. Thank you for having me.
Take care, Coach.
All right, you too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.